Hello, I am Xtina, and today it is going to be part 2 of the Q&A from the developers from the Ask the Team section of their Discord. In case you don't know, Palia is a cozy community sim MMO where you'll be able to build a home, befriend villagers, and experience an evolving narrative. It's basically like the MMO version of Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, Minecraft. This time I will be referencing an unofficial Google document that has compiled a bunch of the answers from some of the developers from the Ask the Team section of the Discord. So let's get into it. Categories and sections are below if you want to skip around. To start with, server. You won't have to choose a server before you're allowed to make a character or anything. We'll let you go to where your friends are. But play between regions may have some restrictions so we can keep our network performance up. I can't speak exactly to where you are, but expanding servers across the globe should eventually happen as we expand localization support, as long as everything goes well. Character creation. Palia is apparently really big on customization, so we're trying to avoid male-female. You choose a body type and all the customization options are tailored to fit all body types. TBH, that's how all games should be. You don't choose a gender or pronoun, just a body type. Body types, to start with, we have two. Players have two body options to choose from. Hairstyles are shared between both. Faces are unique to each. One is more masculine presenting and the other is more feminine. Also something exciting, it says that they have been researching and concepting not just different skin tones, but also a wider variety of facial structures and features, because I feel like in a lot of video games, it's just very European features. So that's super cool to see. However, the character customization may seem limited at the onset of the alpha. They are not talking about other races yet. As to whether there will be a color wheel or a set palette, it is likely to evolve over time. At the moment, some things like hair color are a palette, and other items have authored color variants. That could change tomorrow, that could change a year from now. There are interesting design concerns about absolute freedom to pick any colors whatsoever, versus making it hard for people to feel like they're picking an aesthetically pleasing color palette versus candidates for the Monster Factory YouTube channel. Pre-alpha will not support having multiple characters, but the plan is to support multiple characters. So when you first make your character, make sure it's the one you want to stick with. Gear/equipment. This is something I'm really excited about. Outfit slots, guaranteed. Why stop at one slot for outfits? That would be really nice if you can quickly change between outfits, because in Animal Crossing, personally, I hate having to completely put an outfit away, completely take it off, and transitioning between outfits is just kind of a hassle. So if they can really streamline that, that's really great for customization. The world. Why the name Palia? While I can't say exactly why we settled on Palia over others, I can say that finding a name for a game is really hard. From what I understand, we had a long list of names. Some lawyers had to check a bunch of things to make sure there were no IP or copyright issues, and just a few made it out of that process. You can't just pick the best name and go with it, unfortunately. Travel options. Our world is meant to feel large and have lots of things to do/discover, but we don't believe spending an hour to travel between zones is how folks want to spend their time. There's a pretty open, fast travel system in the alpha right now, and we're considering all forms of feedback on how to improve it. So I am hypothesizing perhaps it's something where you go to the closest town, you click on some sort of map, and then you get teleported. Or maybe they just have really fast mounts. How open is the world? Open but curated. If we go too open, you can never squash the bugs. We definitely want environment traversal to be super fun though. You saw the glider, yeah? The glider. I actually didn't see the glider, but it sounds like we're going to be able to fly a little bit, just like in Genshin Impact. We're trying to use real geometry where, rather than have you running into invisible walls, our game will feel more curated than an open world. I think a lot of MMOs do that pretty well, honestly. At least the good ones, they just like make really tall rock mountains that we can't climb, or really dense trees. As of right now, all our buildings can be entered, but be understanding that NPC might close the door of their home at certain times of the day. That's freaking awesome. Like in games, sometimes it bothers me when they're like, oh, it's entirely explorable, but then there's like a building I can't enter, or like something I can't interact with, so that's exciting. Currently, 1 IRL hour is 1 in-game day. This might change. So 1 hour of real time equals 24 hours in the game. So you'll have 15 minutes of morning, 15 minutes of afternoon, 15 minutes of evening, 15 minutes of night. Oceans/islands/ships/sea travel If I get my way, yes. But the community helps prioritize new features as much as anyone. Fill out surveys when you get them. So it could be like Animal Crossing where they don't expand to the ocean until later on in the game. Easter eggs slash pop culture references in-game, 100%. There's a lot to uncover in the Palia story. You decide your own level of involvement. That's making me kind of wonder that maybe it's not going to be a story-driven game, and it makes me wonder if the story is really even interesting then. Like, you decide your own level of involvement. It sounds like a very passive thing. I don't know. I mean, it could be nice in that we're not bootstrapped down to having to do these quest narrative things, but also sometimes I like being forced through things, and, especially if it's really, really cool. Weather. We aren't ready to talk about weather specifically right now. Sorry. Palia is not a world without weather. I can say that. Portals? Nothing so magic-y as portals. Our fast travel system is kinda similar though. Gameplay. How does hunting work? Bo uses a crosshair, and I've said too much. Fishing skill? Yes, and it's more than just cast and RNG. Fishing will be more involved than Animal Crossing, yes. We're more like Stardew there. If y'all recall, Stardew has the thing where you have to click it and you just have to click properly. Yeah, I honestly, I actually prefer Animal Crossing fishing than Stardew fishing, but it's fine, it's fine. I'm aware of Stardew's infamous fishing difficulty. We are aiming for a similar level of depth, but with a gentler difficulty curve. Thank God. You should be able to succeed at low-level fishing even if you are not good at the mechanic. Thank goodness. Okay. We plan on having things like time of day affect fish. Yes. Can't say anything specific yet, though. Of course. Yeah. Perfect. Love it. Combat. We're not ready to get into the details on this yet, but we'll have both combat-like systems, such as hunting, and eventually more traditional combat. Like most of our skills, you'll be able to choose your level of participation in it. I honestly do like combat in a game, and I can't wait till they add the more traditional combat, even if it's not PvP. Although, I would like to see a little bit of PvP. Just a little. Maybe duels. Hunting is the most action-oriented skill in the pre-alpha. But you are right, it's not combat. We have some really exciting plans in the action space for this game, but I can't tell you anything about it right now. Everything is so secretive. Party size is not a set in stone thing. I realize a team member may have given an explicit number based on their understanding at the time, but that kind of info is at best giving a snapshot of the current state of things that absolutely may or may not change. Character death? No death, or health even. That's kind of cool. So it's more like Animal Crossing rather than Stardew Valley or Minecraft. Much of the open world activities do not explicitly require a party. Parties can make certain things easier, but you can still play most of the game just hanging out on voice. I absolutely love that. I would hate for my progression in the game to be limited by my lack of friends and antisocialness. We won't have dedicated roles or roles themed around combat, hence trying to avoid the traditional RPG vibes, so it's sounding like there will not be healers, archers, swordsmen, tanks, or anything like that. You're just gonna fight. There will be group adventures, maybe dungeon-like, but we won't have huge raids that require lots of prep and grinding beforehand. Magic skill line? Definitely no magic skill to level up like hunting at the moment. Progression. Even though we're trying to avoid the typical grinds of MMOs, you'll have lots of bars to fill up and levels to grind. Yes. Perfect. It sounds like I can spend countless hours on this game. Mindless hours. I enjoy some mindless grinding hours. I honestly really do. Guilds. Our version of guilds in the game are neighborhoods. And yes, you will be able to create your own and invite whomever you wish. Heck yeah! I am going to create such a cool guild. I am also wondering, what is the maximum amount of people you can have in a guild? I hope it's large. I hope it's like 150 people or something like that. I want to create an elite guild, not just for my friends, but for really cool people. Difficulty. Different activities slash skills are different. It's hard to say, but people will probably gravitate towards their favorites and specialize that way. Like in Stardew Valley, I really loved mining. Lots of people hate mining, but I really just like hitting rocks. End game progression and how it's lacking in Animal Crossing. We've identified that this is a well-known issue about Animal Crossing, and fortunately, we're not planning to succumb to that same fate. Thank God. Because in Animal Crossing, once you pay off your mortgage, once you design your house to look the way it is, once you decorate the island, you're done. That's it. Nothing else is really that interesting. Maybe they'll have Easter items, But once you go through one Easter, you don't need next year's Easter items, like jumping. Yes, thank God. I feel like games where you can't jump, it just feels so not lifelike. Achievements. Systems like these will exist, yes, with consideration for people being able to enjoy the game for its own sake and not feel obligated to play the game in a way they don't enjoy. I like that. I'm an achievement climber. I think it is fair to say that the structure of this game will not attempt to mimic that of a traditional MMO. That said, MMO is a very broad term that seems to have been forced into a very niche by popular traditional MMOs. Roleplay. A dev said, I've been making sure to advocate for features like these. It also helps that I roleplayed in WoW for over a decade, and the executive producer for the game is also another roleplayer. I really haven't done roleplay in MMOs, but if they support it, I'm down to get into it. We definitely want players to stand out and feel like they can play the person they want to play. We are really excited for things like emotes, titles, etc. Ooh, titles. I am so excited for this game. PvP. It's possible we introduce PvP in small ways in the future. Currently, it's not small ways. Literally, just like an arena. An arena where you can like duel people. That's like literally all I want. Competitive activities is higher priority than PvP. So like fishing or cooking competition. If PvP means duels in the middle of town, nah. I like that actually. I like that, especially for a game like this. PvP right in the middle of town. That would be so annoying. Like all those little graphics popping up. I would hate it. I would hate it. For a game like this, no. No. But like in a separate arena, that would be very cool. I keep saying arena. Just please, Palia. Make an arena. Crafting/gathering. You'll never be told to pay money or come back later just to craft something. Heck yeah. I love that. I freaking love that. If you have the resources, you craft. Stamina. Not time related. I don't really like stamina, but it makes sense. They have to limit us in some way. How long will crafting take? No specifics for now. One thing to keep in mind is that we want to make sure that there is an element of surprise to the pre-alpha. There's something magical from discovering something for the first time, so that's why we're holding our cards close. That said, we are looking for feedback on those times, so we hope our pre-alpha testers come with lots of opinions. You won't be stopped cutting down trees by stamina or similar, no. We had it, hated it, it's gone from the game. Heck freaking yeah. There will be cooking. Don't want to get into the specifics on how it works just yet. Sorry, like Cooking Mama? Is it going to be like Cooking Mama? Infinite/regrowable/lumberyards/quarries. Don't make fun of me, please. Yes to all of those, actually. Ha 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 ha. Resource management. We have a unique solution to that, but not ready to unveil it yet. All kinds of trees around Palia. Food rot? No to rot. Bless. Food made by people who are really good at making food will be better than the same food made by a bad cook. I like it. I love this. I love this skill specialization. It's beautiful. Bees. Oh, sorry. We don't comment on bees right now because we're still very mixed on how stingy to make them. Like, how funny would it be if there's no character death in the game besides when you get stung by a bee? Then that's instant death. Plant diversity. I think we have some interesting diversity of plant choice already. No plans for animal husbandry. I'm not sure if that is technically true. There are long-term plans for lots of things. So many that we'll have to listen to y'all to figure out where to focus. I think I can state that animal taming and or husbandry is a common topic for us at the studio. Yes, safe to say that you will have to go to a variety of places to catch a variety of fish. Mounts and pets. We see these categories as fast travel and pets. Both are in the roadmap in some form. Fast travel. They said that there's no magic in the game, so that makes me think that we're not going to have any sort of, mystical mounts. Like, we're not going to be, riding a golden phoenix across the map or anything like that. Which is fine. I just hope they have a cool selection of fast travel mounts. Or at least a couple of really cool, hard to get mounts that are you can aspire to getting. I just love grinding for those. Land/housing. Your home is intended to be your cozy private space, but you can have visitors so you can still show off your decor. Instanced houses. It'll feel a lot like that. Not committing to instance housing plots at the moment. Currently, our housing is instanced off in private spaces. There will be ways for players to show off their plots, but it will be not so free, like running by someone's home. As such, there is no shortage of real estate for players to have access to housing. So that almost kind of sounds like the Animal Crossing what was it called? Like the dream whatever thing, or I don't know, the way you could just like visit other people's Animal Crossing houses kind of in their own like confined space. Both outside and inside are instanced, but your friends can easily access your home if you wish for them to come over. There is no loading screen. Oh, nice. No loading screen. Okay. I mean, honestly, I don't mind a loading screen. Like, I don't know what everyone's problem is about instanced houses, but like, I really don't care. It's really easy for friends and neighbors to visit, and we'll be adding more controls too. More controls? What? Land share. In the alpha, this won't be possible, no. You can visit a friend's plot and help them build their building, though. That's cool. I mean, I think the only thing is that it would be nice to have, like, a guild house. A guild house would be really cool, but I understand that that's probably not a priority right now, especially because, you know, they're just trying to refine the individual housing process. So having guild houses later on, though, I think would be really cool. Open house. We want players to be able to, but we're still exploring different ways of executing on this since there is a lot to consider to make it a good experience for everyone. No, purchasing and selling commodities and or land isn't a focus of the game. So sounds like we're not going to be trying to like accrue as much money as possible. It's going to be more like resource sort of focus game. You will have a lot of control over layout of rooms and stuff. Your interior choices are going to be wild. That's really exciting. So it sounds like it's not going to be like Animal Crossing where we just have a set house. Like this is how our house is. It sounds like it's going to be more like The Sims where we can, you know, put down individual floor tiles perhaps and just completely construct the shape of the room that we want. You attach/rotate rooms to create your own floor plan. Or maybe not. Maybe there's just different room layouts. Okay. Your plot is fairly private, but you can put your house anywhere on it with all kinds of configurations. Interesting. So it sounds like our plot is kind of big because they're like, you can put your house anywhere on it. So I'm like, how much space do we got here? Second stories and our basement/cellars could happen. Nothing to share on it at this time. I'm fine with not having a second story. I'm fine with it. House with one floor is pretty small. These kind of things are not set in stone, as you acknowledge. I don't personally feel that a one-story home is inherently small, though, no. I believe that at least most people should feel like they can build a comfy cottagecore home. One floor is not small. Like, with a big enough plot, you can build an absolutely massive one-story house in The Sims, so just saying. Stealing? No. Thank God. There's no terraforming, but the customization options for your plot will get very interesting. The house from the trailer is just scratching the surface of what you can do, really. And I think that's really important that they showed that in the trailer. You know, just a bare level house, because showing some magnificent house that is unattainable to many new players, I think can be really intimidating. Furniture. Furniture interaction. Forgive us on this one for pre-alpha. Oof. Okay. That's fine. So it sounds like that means no turning on your TVs, no sitting on your couches or chairs, no putting things on the table, no, you're not going to be able to cook like in your house like as you do in The Sims, like when you're making an egg or something. You're not going to have a toilet you can use. That's fine. I imagine, you know, it's a multiplayer game. There's a whole big world to explore. I'm not going to be spending all my time pooping on the toilet. I can do that IRL. Furniture positioning. It may not be 100% free, so you can't place items inside each other, but you can clutter surfaces like tables or shelves with little items as long as they all fit. Perfect. Furniture number per room. We have no hard limit on number of items placed in a room, up to you, so it's clutter central, baby. If you want to put a bed in your kitchen, we will definitely not stop you. Thematic furniture. That is the plan. I'm really hoping, you know, that they have thematic furniture, but also a lot of like individual furniture items that don't go along with any theme. Because like sometimes when it's just like a bunch of thematic furniture, it's like, oh, this is the royal set, this is the pink set, this is the dark set. It just doesn't feel like there's a lot of mix and match, but I think mix and match is important to the developers, at least with character customization. So I imagine mix and match is important to them with housing too, or at least it will be later down the line. Pre-alpha. We will send emails to everyone who's accepted, and we will announce that we've sent the email. So at that point, you'll know if you're picked. Pre-alpha when? Soon. Pre-alpha possible release. It could be a month, might be months. Pre-alpha will be under NDA, at least for the beginning. We'll be doing a couple of wipes before our actual launch. That just means that anyone playing in pre-alpha shouldn't get too attached to their character. Diversity, we're figuring this out. Honestly, we're trying to get a mix of different people in this iteration of testing. So some will be fans of this game or that game, some will be solo players, some will want to bring their friends. So the answer is actually some might be allowed to bring in friends. Ooh, I would freaking love that, being able to play with friends. Okay. Cash in for alpha. In our case, our alpha is 100% not a soft launch under a Weasley title, so we can cash in while wanting a pass on all the bugs. We're all old and crusty and old school, and as far as I'm concerned, alpha is alpha is alpha. I love these devs. Our hope is that those who do get into pre-alpha are super vocal about the things that they like and the things that they don't like. Our goal at this stage in our development is to really double down on the things that players are loving about the game and fixing things that they see as problematic. Part of the reason why we are having the pre-alpha is so the game can be shaped not only by us, but by the players as well. Duration. Not explicitly known yet, long enough for players to be able to relay feedback and us to test our servers and configurations. When we do announce the actual pre-alpha start date, there will be a better approximation, but everything is subject to change. Will things be faster in pre-alpha, like resource gathering? We want to understand how players progress through the current content, so accelerating that process would be a bad move for our learning. I agree. Very smart devs, yeah. It's a little too early to be talking about early access or release. Right now we're focused on getting as much feedback as possible on our pre-alpha so we can build a great game for the community. Release date? 5 years? Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, done? We expect to be a live service game and keep working on it. If you just want to play, it's going to be really soon. Really soon. That makes me think it's going to be in the next 12 months. Pretty poggers. While I can't give any specific dates, I can assure you that we are much closer than 3 years from launch. Very exciting. So yeah, within the next 12 months, maybe 18 months, if that's really a reach. But they say much closer than 3 years from launch. That is so exciting. UI. We're targeting on the simpler side, but at the end of the day, MMOs with neat social systems require a bit more UI. Finding guilds, aka neighborhoods. You'll be able to find them. This is a big goal for us. Ultra wide. It already supports ultra wide. Some wonky stuff in the UI at those sizes, but it's still pre-alpha. Hide UI. Definitely supporting something like that. We hope you take all the screenshots. We'll have toggles for certain UI elements, yes. Motion sickness. We have folks on the team that are the same way. They keep us in check on things like camera controls. I think our inventory system does a few things that crafting games should have been doing for a while already. Okay, innovation. Let's go. Favorite inventory sorting option? I think for a game like ours, categorical sorting is most important, but this can often be achieved with filters. Within the list, you get a lot of free wins with an alphabetical sort. Bestiary catalog/tracker. There will be a UI for tracking information like what kind of fish you've caught. Yes, that feels fairly safe to leak. Music. It is our own music written by our own composer. Stream it. Music instruments in the game. Anything's possible. That's not like a secret yes or anything. We're just really open to making things you want. Our struggle is that with latency with audio over the internet, it's kind of a difficult problem if you're looking to jam with friends or anything. I don't remember who asked, but we had seen some questions about the composer for Palia's music. It's no other than the incredibly talented Stefan Schmidt. He'll be saying hello to everyone in the next few days. Specs. Min spec not out yet, but it's real low. We don't have specific min spec out, but so far we're running the game on some pretty garbage PCs. Platform/crossplay/controls. We are starting on PC and adding more platforms from there. Where crossplay is possible, we will push to support it. Ooh, saying where crossplay is possible makes me think it's not going to be like super cross-playable on like Nintendo Switch and stuff. We're aiming to release on most platforms, quote unquote, after PC launch. Mobile is a high priority. That's crazy. Mobile? Controller support is planned later but won't be available for pre-alpha. As someone with RSI in the wrists, controller support is very important to me. I've been playing Palia on a Steam controller in the meantime. I didn't even know that Steam controllers were a thing. Wow. VR is already fairly friendly with Unreal, aka Unreal Engine. We could look into it. I know we have VR fans on the dev team. I mean, it's the only way to play Elite Dangerous. That would be super cool, playing it in VR. Accessibility. We intend to include disability options, including colorblind options. This is not ready for pre-alpha. Damn. You need the mouse, but it's more required for the UI than playing the game. Folks with accessibility software and other input devices shouldn't have to worry about clicking in the world to move or anything like that. NPCs/romance. We'll have relationships and romance. Things like spouses and children could come later. Honestly, I don't want children. Not in the game, not in real life. No thank you. Friends and romantic partners, both. I'm sure you'll find someone to relate to in the village, even if it's the mean old mayor's wife. Villagers have to live lives as well, so you'll see them all around the world. Romance will be only between players and NPC. Gender doesn't matter. Currently no player-to-player romance. Boo. But they are looking into it. It was mentioned in one of the house sharing related questions. I wanna be able to marry. I want an in-game partner. Like getting married in an MMO, it's such an exciting thing. Romance multiple NPCs, yes, but just like in real life, some people might be upset if they find out, ooh, I love that, the drama. Okay, maybe I will romance NPCs just for the drama. Will Einar, I don't know how to say the name, robot, follow us and help, or just NPC? Einar, okay, has his own routine and interests. You'll have to strike up a friendship to learn more. Dialogue with NPCs? Choices. Classic. There will be incentives for engaging with NPCs deeply. As to what explicitly, I'll leave that a mystery. Anti-griefing. We do have a bit of a troll on the team who actively looks for ways to grief us when we are playtesting so that we can look for ways to mitigate or remove the ability. I'm sure that new ways will be discovered, but it's something we do care very much about and pay attention to. We want the existence of other players to be at worst neutral and at best a positive add. Players are really creative when it comes to this stuff. Thankfully, we have folks on the team that are really good at making sure we know when stuff isn't up to our standards in that department as well. We're sensitive to this. Believe me, we may not end up supporting private servers, but if we don't, you'll have other tools to filter out unwanted players. Hell yeah, you can just ban a player and never see them again. A huge focus for us is having some of the best social systems. That includes not worrying about seeing players you don't like seeing. Lore. Lore is something we're very passionate about and we've been investing in since day one. You'll be able to do a lot of interacting with the lore. Your character can really become a part of the NPC stories. Cute. Lore books? Yes. Your relationship with an NPC will affect what they're willing to share with you, so your perspective of the story may differ. That's cool. Localization. We're going to localize to as many languages as we can. Hi, I saw that we did get quite a few folks from Brazil. Definitely going to have to start learning Portuguese. We do plan on localizing the game, however the pre-alpha will be in English only. And then the team. 3 years, starting with 2 people, grew to 7 people after 1 year. Now at 3 years, we're 50 or so passionate people. 50 or so people with help from third-party studios for this and that, and we're still hiring and growing. Maybe I'll apply to work at Palia. Who knows? And that's all for today. That was quite a hefty doc. Hope you all get selected for the pre-alpha if you're applying for that, and hope to see you in Palia soon.